So I realized this video is 2 days late, but I still wanted to make a video on it nevertheless. So 2 days ago, it was the 76th anniversary of the D-Day landings. D-Day was the first turning point of the Second World War and the first step in securing Europe from the Nazis. So the attack was several months in the making, actually years in the making. Stalin recommended it 2 years earlier. He said, well, we need to open up a new front to the war after Hitler had begun an attack on his own country of Soviet Russia. They said no. Roosevelt and Churchill were not going to open a new front to the war. But then after Stalin had secured his own country from the Nazis, they felt it was inevitable. So, in January of 1944, they began prepping for the first launch on the first step to securing Europe. The landing craft had to be brand new and made because the shores were so shallow that boats couldn't land because of how shallow it was. So new boats were made called Higgins landing crafts. They were made, mass-produced, and put on ships. And on June 4th, they planned to launch. However, the seas were too choppy to even dare think about launching a ship. So on June 5th, they decided, well, maybe we should do it. They decided against that and dropped paratroopers instead. The German anti-aircraft emplacements quickly took out several fighters and bombers and aircraft before they could even reach their targets. And paratroopers landed miles away from where they were supposed to land, and some were shot before they could even land. So, June 5th was a major defeat and a major crush of American morale. So, on June 6th, they decided, no matter what, we had to launch. Because the next time would be September. That would be too long. So they decided to launch. Then they landed. It was a major successful failure on the Allies' part. Most supplies sank before they could even reach their target. And Germany was underprepared as well. Rommel, who had made this Atlantic wall, thought, well, the Allies can't attack, so he went home to celebrate his wife's birthday. He was the only one who really knew how to operate this Atlantic wall, and he was gone. The Germans were underprepared, the Americans had no supplies, and the Allies were ripped apart by MG-42 fast-firing machine guns. So, it was decided that they would have a last charge on Juneau, on the beaches of Juneau, Gold, Sword, Omaha, and Utah. Utah had little casualties. The Germans probably weren't even there. Omaha, nicknamed Bloody Omaha, saw the defeat of thousands of men, both German and American. Juneau and Gold, don't know much about them, but we do know that British landed there. Sword was taken by the Canadians, and it was the first step in securing Europe from the wretched grip of the Nazis. That was this week's video. Thank you for watching. Bye.